Welcome to Symptoms and Side Eyes, where two doctors, one dermatologist, one lifestyle and obesity medicine specialist, join forces to debunk trendy medical myths, educate on all things skin, hair, nail, and wellness related, and provide a little humor and side eye at the same time.
Be honest, is anyone actually thriving in the winter? Or are you like the rest of us, itchy, cold, crusty, surrounded by holiday cookies like it's a trap set by your family, and heavy in the SAD? That's seasonal affective disorder.
Not crusty though. If you're like my patients, it doesn't even matter if the humidity is 100% like it can be in Louisiana. You're still asking, why is my skin so dry? Or why is my hair so dry and shedding? Or why do I feel like I'm turning into a raisin?
Ringing any bells? Well, you've made it back to the right place. Welcome back to Symptoms and Side Eyes, the podcast where two doctors break down what your body is actually trying to tell you and give major side eye to whatever TikTok convinced you to do about it.
Absolutely. So I'm Dr. Lauren Payne, board certified dermatologist and founder of Flourish Dermatology and Aesthetics in New Orleans. Winter is my season because this is when patients come running in with dry skin, eczema flares, psoriasis flares, dry flaky scalp, shedding hair, chapped lips, all the things, and I love to fix it all.
And I'm Dr. Deniece Johnson, double board certified internal medicine and obesity medicine physician, founder of Lifestyle Care in Atlanta. And my winter patients, they're wheezing, they're tired, they're fighting colds, and they're eating holiday pies like they're taking a note. So yeah, I got thoughts on winter.
Oh Lord. Okay. So
all right, Lauren, why is winter such a hot mess for our skin? I think we all associate winter with like dreary days and cold weather and snow, but let's talk about how this all translates into all these changes, especially for us naturally dry skin girlies like me.
yeah, so winter season is the season of trauma or the setup, right? So colder air means less humidity, which means less moisture in the air. Then you have indoor heat, which means moisture is going to evaporate more quickly. Hot showers, which we all love to take in the wintertime, will strip your natural oils. The result of all of the above is dry, flaky, itchy, cracked. all the ash.
And listen, people think just because they're in the South and it's humid that they get a pass, but no ma'am. Okay, the air is still dry inside your house and your job, your car. Your body has no clue what zip code it is. All it knows is that it is thirsty.
Absolutely. And your skin barrier, which is the top layer of the skin that's there for protection, it's like the walls of a house. So in the winter, the walls get cracked. So you have these little openings between your skin cells. And then when that barrier is damaged and cracked, every little thing can get through, right? So certain irritants, allergens, even bacteria, that's why we tend to see more eczema flares, psoriasis flares, and even dandruff flares.
And as I've learned from you in the past, we're probably making it worse by trying to exfoliate all the dead skin away.
Y'all are exfoliating your epidermis all the way off with those loofahs and those really like abrasive, brushes. Please, just stop.
I did, okay? And I want to note, for the same reason that our skin is dry and cracked, is the same reason you feel more susceptible to colds during this time, right? It's cold and flu season for a reason, and not to mention the lack of sunlight that can trigger actual changes in your melatonin and cortisol. Remember our little stress friend.
Absolutely. So now we're going to dive a little deeper into several topics that are most affected by winter weather, which includes your hair, your skin, your immune system changes, and even holiday eating. We'll break down what tends to happen to each and give you some simple and easy tips to combat you falling into the infamous trap this winter and holiday season. So we're going to jump right in. So let's start with the largest organ of the body, which is your skin. So I need to say this with all the holiday love in my heart. If your skin is dry in the winter,
it's not because you need another fancy serum.
Thank you, Dr. Deniece. It is because your skin barrier is screaming for moisture. So several things happen to the skin in the winter. First, the air loses moisture, which means it can't hold as much water. So the air pulls water out of your skin to kind of combat that, aka you become more dry. Then the skin barrier gets damaged. The top layer of the skin, which is called the epidermis, has both skin cells and lipids or fat that actually help to act as a wall, kind of a seal to keep the water in. During the winter, moisture evaporates faster between those little cells, and also we start to lose our lipid and fat layers in the skin, which means we can't hold on to as much moisture as we could during the summertime. And then when you have those little kind of breaks in the skin, as I mentioned before, you have those irritants, those allergens, bacteria can actually get into your skin and cause you to have your eczema flares and your psoriasis flares. Other things that can happen in the winter that contribute to drier skin includes a decrease in the blood flow to the skin. So, of course, your blood is going to other places to keep you nice and warm, meaning it's not going to be in your skin. Also, we all tend to take those hot showers in the wintertime, but that starts to strip your skin as well, make it less moisturized, and also increasing the heat in your house. Can lead to more moisture. And then lastly, not producing as much natural oils. Obviously, we're not sweating as much as we do during the summertime, so our body is not naturally making as much oil, so we're also going to be drier than before. And last but not least is decreasing in water intake. So we're not necessarily as thirsty in the wintertime as we are in the summer because we're not as hot. Also, we tend to partake in other beverages during the holiday season, alcoholic and non, and that also decreases the amount of actual water intake that we're consuming, which can lead to decreased overall body moisture.
I remember when I found out how harsh winter could be. I had been living in Okinawa and I came to Maryland for my first year of college. And boy, that first Maryland winter, my skin was cracked and I mean, I couldn't believe it. And there's a nice girl in my dorms and she brought me home this jar from CVS and it was Eucerin. And I was like, what is that? I had never seen no jar of lotion in my life, and she was like, girl, you need this. And I was like, oh, I put that stuff on, boy. My skin was so happy, and now from now on, no matter what, I only do jar lotion in the winter.
Eucerin saved your life, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So that's an important rule that you just mentioned. So the rule for the winter is jars of creamy moisturizers for the winter. Lotions are left for the summer. So in terms of order of preference, creams in the winter, followed by lotion if you don't have a choice. Your butters, your shea butters, all those type of things, low on the totem pole. And last but certainly not least is oil. Oil does absolutely nothing but seal in whatever you've already put under the oil, right? So cream locks water in. Lotions are good, but they're light, especially for the winter. Oil alone absolutely does nothing without water-based moisturizer underneath. If your skin is dry, you need the following ingredients that can hydrate and repair your skin. So what you want to look out for are these keywords: ceramides, glycerin, hyaluronic acid, urea, lactic acid, and petroleum jelly on your hands and your feet, and especially your lips.
Okay, yes, please say that again for the people who didn't hear you. Oil is not a moisturizer, okay? It's a seal, and if you put it on dry skin, you are sealing in the dryness, and jars only for the winter time.
Exactly. I have plenty of patients who like baby oil, and I said, cool, you can look nice and shiny for all of 10 minutes until the baby oil gets rubbed off. So, just putting it out there. But exactly, great way to put it, Dr. Deniece.
And don't skimp on the water, okay? Water is your body's favorite drink, okay? Y'all know by now, 2 liters every day, minimum, no excuses.
Absolutely.
All right.
So important.
So next, let's talk about hair, because my hair is super dry too, right? And the breakage in the winter is real. And even from my patients, I see it every year. Like, doc, I'm going bald. I was like, no, you're just responding to stress, the cold, the heat, the sunlight, the dehydration, all that stuff.
Absolutely. And then let's add in the holidays, right? So the travel, the parties, the updos, the heating the hair for all the curly styles, the tight ponytails, the silk presses, the blowouts, all of the things with your hair.
Oh, but it gets a little confusing. So is it breakage or shedding? And how do you know the difference?
So it really just depends, right? Because I think it's important to note the difference. Is your hair not growing? Is it shedding? Or are you doing things to cause it to break? So the important give away or take away from for in terms of protecting your hair in the winter is hydration and protection, right? So definitely less heat styling as much as possible. You know, a blowout with silk press every now and again is okay, but not on a weekly basis. Deep conditioning your hair at least once a week, especially in the winter, is so important. Also using a silk pillowcase or a silk bonnet so that you're not having the friction, which can lead to breakage. Gentle detangling, right? So us curly girls have to detangle our curls, but if you do it on some dry curls, you want to take those curls all the way out of your hair. So make sure that you're using a conditioner that has a lot of slip, or a detangler that has a lot of slip, and only detangle when you're in the shower or your curls or your hair is actually wet and able to be detangled safely. Also avoid tight hairstyles. So it's okay to wear your hair in buns and ponytails occasionally, but it shouldn't be your day-to-day hairstyle because you want to protect those edges.
Right. Okay, and since I have braids right now, isn't she cute?
Mm-hmm.
What should I,
So cute.
is it, so is it pointless for me to just put oil on here? Do I have to like spray some water or something first?
On your scalp or on your hair?
Yeah, on my scalp. Ooh.
Yeah, no. So let's not do oil on the scalp. Honestly, your scalp typically makes enough oil. You know, we prefer kind of just making sure that your scalp is clean. That's honestly the most important thing because your scalp does create natural oil. In fact, some people actually have too much oil production, and that's what leads to seborrheic dermatitis or dandruff. So it looks really dry, right? You're dry and flaky, and you're like, oh, my scalp is dry. Mm-mm, baby girl, it's actually too oily, and that's what leads to that happening. So no, we do not recommend oil directly on the scalp.
Good to know because I'm about to oil her down.
Let's
Okay,
not.
and nutrition matters, of course, right? The number one thing I see in winter, not enough protein, all the carbs. Okay, your hair
Mhm.
is made of protein, and if you're living on sugar cookies and eggnogs and charcuterie boards until January, your hair just might tell you.
I know, and everyone loves a little eggnog every now and again, but it shouldn't be your 24/7 diet. I
No.
completely agree. And if you feel like your scalp is getting itchier or more dry in the winter, yes, it may be getting a bit more dry because of the weather. But as I mentioned, you also could be having a flare of seborrheic dermatitis, which is that yeast that can lead to dandruff. So you can have cold weather, and then of course on top of that, your body's kind of just stressed from holiday and life and the cold, and that can lead to a seborrheic dermatitis flare, and you feel extra dry on your scalp. So best fix, anti-dandruff shampoo. Over the counter, you can look for Nizoral, you can look for Head and Shoulders, you can look for Selsun Blue. So zinc and selenium sulfide and ketoconazole are kind of like the key ingredients. You want to make sure when you're having these flares to shampoo your scalp at least once a week to every 2 weeks. It's important to put the actual shampoo on your scalp, right? It's not meant to lather your hair. The hair is not the issue. It is actually the scalp, which is where the issue is. Don't oil your scalp if it's flaking. Actually, some of those oils, like olive oil, coconut oil, can actually make the yeast grow. So the more you oil the scalp, the worse the condition gets. So you want to make sure you're treating the underlying problem first with the medicated shampoo, and then kind of go from there.
Okay. And then how do they know the difference between like a seborrheic dermatitis versus like just a regular dandruff?
Absolutely. So, kind of classic findings would be a lot of times the flakes are a little bit more greasy, yellow. They can cake up and form little mounds or what patients will call scabs on the scalp. That's very indicative of seborrheic dermatitis. Also, if you notice that you're having some involvement behind your ears or inside your ears or along your hairline or even in the eyebrows or on the folds near your nose and your mouth, that is seborrheic dermatitis. Those areas is also where the yeast loves to grow. And so that also lets you know, hey, this is not just dry, flaky eczema, but this is likely me having a seborrheic dermatitis flare.
That's right. And when in doubt, go see a dermatologist like Dr.
We are here to help.
Payne. All right, so now that we know the do's and don'ts for our skin this winter, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the weight gain. Okay, holiday weight gain. It was about 7 pounds for me this year. It was stressful. And and that's okay. I'm okay with that. People say, I don't know what happened. I was doing so good. Look, holiday season is coming no matter what, right? It's an inevitable part of life, no matter how you do or what you do to celebrate.
Absolutely. And since I moved here to New Orleans, I didn't know that holiday season only gets started at Thanksgiving and Christmas. The official holiday season of Mardi Gras starts beginning of January. So it goes on and on and on, which means even more parties and food and alcohol. And also physical activity will decrease during that time because you're just so busy having fun. And that's a recipe for getting out of control real quick.
Right. And listen, I want you to enjoy the good food, okay? I am definitely not hating on your holiday, but I want you to have a plan, right? You know the holidays are coming, they come the same time every year. Okay, so winter bring those cold days and it makes you want to move less, eat more, sleep more, all the recipes for weight gain, just like Dr. Payne said. So let's stop with this all or nothing thinking about the holidays, okay? You might have some weight gain. It's okay. All right? You're not going to eat cakes and cookies all day, every day, for every day of your life, right? It's a fun time. Don't get down on yourself and be like, I messed up, let me eat everything. Okay? So let me give you some realistic rules, okay? So number one, get your protein in first, right? Get the turkey, the ham, the chicken, whatever's out there, pile that on your plate and try to get full off that because those are lower calorie. And like we said, it's good for your hair. It's good for you. It's good for your muscles. All right. Number two, here's my favorite, water before wine. Okay. Try drinking a glass of water, 16 ounces, before and between each alcoholic drink before you start to eat. The more water, the more full you're going to feel. Okay. Dessert, pick one or two, right? Don't eat the whole pie, but have a slice today, a slice tomorrow, and maybe you have two slices the next day. But try to, be realistic. Don't just eat it because it's there. Eat it because you want it, okay? Every once in a while. And, try not to skip meals. For some people, that means that you're going to have a binge later. And so you might as well get yourself a good protein snack. Have a salad with some protein because that big meal is coming and all you have to do is plan ahead. And then move your body. Use the gathering as an excuse. Walk, dance, play. It all counts. Every 10 minutes of any activity counts. Even if you're just, you volunteer to mop the floors or clean up afterwards. All of that counts, okay? And just hear me clearly. You do not need to earn your food or atone for eating. Enjoy your people. Enjoy the memories. Just don't eat pies and and cookies at 11 p.m. every night between Thanksgiving and January 1st.
I mean, just a couple times a week. That's all. That's all.
Right. Exactly. And don't for a little while. Just a second.
And can I add, I think those are all valid points. Can I add that high glycemic foods, aka sugary foods and drinks, can also cause inflammation in the body and then it can flare your skin issues like acne and eczema. So when your skin is wild in December, not only is it due likely to kind of stress of keeping up with holiday parties and the overall cold weather and shopping schedules, but it might also have a little to do with that pecan pie, that pound cake, which I make a great pound cake, Christmas cookies, and the eggnog. So kind of just keep that in mind when you're like, hey, why am I having more acne or why are things happening? It could also have something to do with what you're eating. So now is the time to open up the notes section on your phone and hit the save button on your whatever you're scrolling. Here is your dermatologist approved winter routine for your face. So we're going to keep it simple but effective. So morning time, your gentle hydrating cleanser. You need hydrating in the winter time. A hydrating serum could be hyaluronic acid or glycerin, a ceramide-based moisturizer, and then your sunscreen. Yes, even in the winter, every day. Optional vitamin C if you feel like being a little fancy. Nighttime, you want to make sure you're using your, again, hydrating cream-based cleanser. And then you can still use a retinoid in the winter. You may not be able to use it as frequently as you do in the summer, and that's okay. Start slow with it, and also use a thick moisturizer. And some patients like to layer their moisturizer and then apply the retinoid and another layer of moisturizer. We call it the sandwiching technique. And then last but not least, make sure you're using something occlusive like Vaseline, Aquaphor, CeraVe Healing Ointment on your lips, your hands, and your feet. Don't forget those lips. Gone are the days of only using Carmex and Burpees. Those are good initial lip moisturizers, but it's important to seal them into your lips with an occlusive like Vaseline or Aquaphor. So that's important. Additional non-negotiables as far as skincare, you want to take short, lukewarm, not scalding hot water. I know it feels great, but it sucks the life out. Maximum 10 minutes. And then we have this rule called the damp rule. So you are supposed to moisturize your skin within 2 minutes of getting out of the shower. So out of the shower, pat dry. Do not fully dry your skin off. And then you apply your moisturizer cream. So your pores are still open, so it'll actually get into your pores and be more long lasting than just sitting on the surface. And then of course you can apply your occlusive seal on top or your oil on top if you want to look a little shiny and fancy. It's also okay to have a humidifier in your bedroom, especially if you're in the north, in a cold, dry climate. Not essential, but definitely can be effective if you're in a very, very cold climate.
And I can say from experience, stop exfoliating like you're scrubbing chicken, okay? Your skin barrier is already jacked up because it's winter time. You do not need to exfoliate every single day.
Thank you, Dr. Deniece. Yes, we'll discuss in a future episode about effective skincare routines, but there is a such thing as too much exfoliating. So, hopefully by now you've gotten the gist that winter skin dryness is normal. But if you see cracks that bleed or red burning itchy dry patches on your skin, rashes around your eyes, or scalp sores because it's super itchy or tender, blisters on your palms or your soles, sudden hair loss, either all over or in specific areas, then it's time to come see me. That's a dermatology issue that needs medical attention. Likely not a seasonal problem that can be helped with just over-the-counter old TLC, or I'm just gonna let it pass.
All right, those are some great skin tips. We're so lucky to have our dermatologist with us. If we missed anything, you want to hear some more about something specific, definitely leave us a comment below and we will try to get all of your questions answered. And so now I just want to talk about some internal medicine tips for the winter season. We also, in the internal medicine world, we know this is cold and flu season, okay? Flu, RSV, COVID, it just comes running crazy in, right? Why? Because we're indoors, we're closer together, the dry air spreads the viruses faster, and our vitamin D levels drop because there's not as much sunlight outside. So most importantly is washing your hands with soap and water. Remember the birthday song from COVID? Make sure you get everything clean because you don't want nobody else's germs and you don't want to give nobody yours. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. All this cold weather is making your mucous membranes dry. My eyes are dry right now. And that means just the viruses are going in and, they're going to get you even more. Sleep, okay? So, it gets dark so early and, we get stressed. There's all this running around for the holidays. We want you to sleep 7 to 8 hours a night. Make it a priority, okay? And keep moving. It helps boost your endorphins. It helps stave off that stress weight that you could gain. And it's just really good for your body and your mind. And then finally, vitamin D, right? A lot of us, with all this beautiful melanin in our skin, we become vitamin D deficient in the winter because there's just not enough sunlight out and we're not getting outdoors as much anyway. So a vitamin D supplement is always a good idea. It's nice to know your levels and know, so don't take too much because you can overdose. But, a daily supplement, follow the directions, don't take extra, and you should be good, okay? So your immune system is really helped by that vitamin D, and it's just like your skin barrier, right? It needs your support, it needs you to be fully nutrients, all the nutrients that you need.
Yeah, and vitamin D can affect hair growth too, so definitely important. And for no other reason than you want to keep your hair, make sure you have that vitamin D in your system and you have a good level. Okay, so those are all great points. And lower immune system can also affect the skin and the hair. So it's important to remember what Dr. Deniece discussed, right? It's all related, and that's important. So in addition to focusing on the physical effects of winter and the holiday season, let's not ignore the emotional side. So winter can feel heavy, right? Holidays can be triggering. Family chaos, unexpected kind of things happen, loneliness, grief, all of those things can happen during the winter and the holiday season.
Exhaustion, hosting, the cooking, the traveling, that stress shows up in your skin, the dryness, your flares, breakouts, hair shedding, weight gain. All of that can, just create a tumble down effect where it can all get you to feeling low. So you got to be prepared, prepare your mind. The season is coming.
Absolutely. So here is your doctor's permission slip for your mental health this holiday season. Say no. No is a one-word answer, and it is okay to do. Leave early. If you are at a place and you feel like you are mentally, drained or just need your own space, it's okay to respectfully leave early. Don't overextend yourself. Same thing. If you feel like, hey, I am just too tired, it's okay to say no to some things. As I mentioned, don't overextend yourself. Do not explain your choices. Once again, no is a one word answer, and you're the one who has to be able to make sure that you are okay during this holiday season. So keep those in mind. Now we're going to dive into this rapid fire Q&A. So to summarize all of the important points we highlighted to get through this upcoming winter and holiday season with flourishing skin and hair and a snatched waistline, Dr. Deniece and I are going to do a quick rapid fire Q&A. So Dr. Deniece, you ready?
All right, so let's start with hot showers. Yay or nay?
You already know, absolutely not. So your skin barrier said absolutely not.
Oil bath.
No. Moisturize first and then use oil as your seal afterwards. What about holiday desserts?
Choose a couple, okay? Not every day, not 3 times a day. 2 times at least, come on.
Okay. What about a humidifier?
Yes, 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 yes. This area is dry. Your skin will thank you. Your nose hairs will thank you.
Got it.
What about hair shedding?
So potentially normal. If it's diffuse and not more than a handful per day. More than that, you may want to look into making sure everything's okay. Make sure to keep up your protein intake during the holiday season, as we mentioned. Get plenty of hydration. Keep your hair moisturized so it's not breaking in the winter. And then be gentle this holiday season, aka not too much heat, not too tight hairstyles.
Cracked hands?
So kind of key ingredients, key products, ceramide-based creams, followed by Vaseline and gloves, white cotton gloves specifically at night. Boom, your hands will feel like a baby's bottom.
All right. Well, that was a good way to wrap up all of our great tips for a healthy winter and holiday season in a little gift bow. Winter can be beautiful, slower rhythms. I love snowboarding, cozy vibes at the cabin and the fire. But your body needs extra support inside and out.
Exactly. So protect your skin barrier, protect your hair, protect your peace.
And enjoy the holidays mindfully without hating yourself for eating.
Exactly. Remember, your skin is an organ, your metabolism is an organ. You deserve care all year.
Right. All right. If you love this episode, leave a review, share it with a friend, and send us your questions for future episodes. We are more than happy to answer all of your wildest questions. You can find me on IG and Facebook at Lifestyle Care DPC, and the YouTube Dr. Deniece is coming soon.
Perfect. And you can find me at Flourish Derm on IG, Facebook, and TikTok, as well as at Dr. Lauren Payne. You can book consults there, ask questions, and send your winter care and skin emergencies. I've seen it all.
All right. Until next time, moisturize, hydrate, and enjoy the cookies. Just not every night.
Happy holidays. Bye, everyone.
Happy holidays.